When we arrived at the airport, our taxi driver suddenly locked all the doors and whispered, "Don't get out yet. In 3 minutes, you'll understand why." We thought he was overreacting, until 5 police officers surrounded the car with their hands on their guns. Welcome back to my channel, lovelies, and kindly hit the subscribe button before we dive. Maya had always been the organized one between herself and her younger sister, Tara. If a trip was involved, she handled the checklists, the confirmations, the packing, and even the backup plans. Tara, on the other hand, always brought the chaos, fun chaos, but chaos all the same. That dynamic was exactly why Maya insisted they leave for the airport 3 hours early, even though their flight wasn't until late afternoon. She didn't trust last-minute surprises, and she definitely didn't trust Lagos traffic, even on a slow Wednesday. Mr. Kamal, their taxi driver, had greeted them politely when he arrived at their house. He was a quiet man with gentle eyes and a slight accent neither of the sisters could place. At first, everything about the ride felt normal. He helped load their suitcases, asked what airline they were flying, and even complimented Tara's braids, which instantly made her warm up to him. But after they had driven about 15 minutes, Maya started noticing little things that didn't sit right with her. For one, Mr. Kamal kept checking the rear-view mirror. Not the quick glance that most drivers did, but long, heavy stares, like he was waiting to see someone or something behind them. His fingers tapped nervously on the steering wheel, and every few minutes, he would murmur something under his breath in a language they didn't understand. Tara, as usual, had her earbuds in and was scrolling through TikTok, not paying attention to anything except the occasional burst of laughter from her phone. Maya tried to ignore the uneasy feeling crawling up her spine. It wasn't like the man had done anything wrong. People were nervous for different reasons. Maybe he didn't like driving near the airport. Maybe he didn't like police checkpoints. She wasn't going to assume the worst. Still, every time she looked up and caught his eyes flicking toward the mirror, the tension in her stomach tightened. About 10 minutes before they reached the airport, the atmosphere in the car shifted even more. Mr. Kamal's shoulders stiffened, and his grip on the wheel tightened. His breathing changed, more shallow, more frantic. Maya leaned slightly forward. "Sir, are you okay?" she asked softly. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he checked the mirror again. Once. Twice. Then a third time. "Yes," he finally replied in a low voice. "Yes, I am fine." But he clearly wasn't. Tara glanced up from her phone briefly. "You good, bro? You look kinda stressed." Mr. Kamal nodded too quickly. "Traffic," he said. "Airport traffic. Always stressful." But there was barely any traffic at all. When they approached the drop-off section, Maya noticed police vehicles parked unusually close to the entrance. Officers stood near the curb, scanning the cars entering the zone as if they were waiting for a particular one. Her pulse quickened. Something wasn't right. "Looks busy," she murmured. As Mr. Kamal slowed the car near the curb, the kind of spot where passengers normally jumped out, he suddenly pressed the central lock button. All the doors clicked loudly. Tara's head snapped up. Why'd you lock the doors?" Maya's breath caught. "Sir?" Mr. Kamal didn't turn around. His voice trembled as he spoke, genuinely trembled. "Don't get out yet," he whispered. "Please." "Not here." "Not now." Maya froze. Tara blinked in confusion. "What do you mean, don't get out?" Maya asked. "We're literally at the airport." He swallowed hard. "In 3 minutes, you will understand why." Tara's jaw dropped. "Okay, what?" "Sir, you sound like you're about to sacrifice us to a demon. What's going on?" Mr. Kamal shook his head rapidly. No demon. But danger. I see something wrong. Something not right. Please trust me." Maya didn't know what to think. The logical part of her brain screamed that she should unlock the door and get out. This wasn't normal behavior for any driver. But another part of her, the part that noticed the police, the scanning, the tension, made her pause. "Just tell us what's happening," Maya said gently. Mr. Kamal pointed subtly toward the curb. "Police. They're looking for someone. A woman. They think she is arriving today. I think maybe they will mistake you." Tara scoffed. "Mistake us for who?" "Beyoncé." But Maya wasn't laughing. Mr. Kamal leaned back slightly, lowering his voice.
Please stay.
3 more minutes. Then you go. Before Maya could respond, flashing lights suddenly lit up the windows. Blue and red reflections swallowed the car. And then, 5 police officers surrounded them, hands on their guns, faces tense, eyes locked on the taxi. Everything went silent. Maya's heart felt like it had jumped into her throat. The flashing red and blue lights reflected in the rearview mirror made her skin crawl. 5 uniformed police officers were moving fast, their hands gripping their firearms, their eyes sharp and unyielding. The sound of boots against the pavement echoed like a drumbeat, each step louder than the last. Tara's hand gripped hers tightly, shaking slightly. "Maya, what the hell is happening?" she whispered, her voice quivering. Maya tried to steady her breathing. She gave a quick glance at Mr. Kamal, whose face was pale, his knuckles white around the steering wheel. "Just stay calm," she murmured. "Trust him. He said he knows what's going on." The taxi came to a complete stop. Mr. Kamal leaned forward slightly and said in a low, urgent tone, "Don't move. Do not open the doors. They are not here for you, maybe, but they will think you are her." Tara's eyes widened. "Her? Who the hell is her?" "Maya, are we in some kind of movie right now?" Maya didn't answer. Her attention was fixed on the officers. They were surrounding the car methodically, covering every angle. Officer Grant, the apparent leader, shouted from a few feet away, "Hands where we can see them. Step out slowly." Maya swallowed hard and turned to Mr. Kamal. "What do we do?" He shook his head, glancing at the officers.
Wait.
3 minutes. Then you leave. Seconds stretched into eternity. Every passing moment made the air heavier, thicker, as if it were a living thing. Tara leaned closer to Maya, whispering, "I don't know if I can stay calm, sis." Maya placed her hand on Tara's. "I know. Just breathe. Listen to me." She drew in a deep breath herself, trying to remain a steady anchor amidst the storm of flashing lights and shouts. Officer Grant's voice rang out again, louder this time, sharp with authority. "I said step out.
Now.
Mr. Kamal's eyes darted to the curb.
No.
"Not yet. Please. They will mistake you." Maya felt her stomach twist. Mistaken for someone else? Who? And why were 5 officers prepared to fire at them instantly? One of the officers, closer to the driver's side, crouched slightly and peered into the window. "Driver, what's going on in there?" Mr. Kamal raised his hands in a placating gesture. "I am not doing anything wrong, officer. Please trust me." Maya wanted to shout, to tell them that they were innocent, but she remembered the trembling words of the driver. She stayed frozen, clenching Tara's hand tighter. The police officer motioned to his partner. A few more steps, and they would have been at the doors. Maya could feel her heartbeat in her throat. This was surreal. Tara's eyes were wide, tears beginning to form, her breathing fast and uneven. Then, a loud crack of a walkie-talkie interrupted the tension. Officer Grant answered quickly, his voice clipped. "Yes, copy that. Confirm? All right, hold position." Maya didn't understand the words, but she caught the pause in the officer's movements.
They stopped advancing.
Mr. Kamal exhaled slowly. 3 minutes. Almost. 3 minutes. Maya counted silently in her head. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. Tara's whisper broke through. "Maya, we're gonna die, aren't we?" "No," Maya said firmly, though her voice trembled. "We're not. Trust him. Trust me." The countdown seemed endless. Every flash of blue and red reflected on the windows, every shout, every footstep, sent adrenaline rushing through her veins. Maya could feel Tara trembling, her grip tightening. She looked over at the younger sister, and in that instant, she realized just how strong she had to be. Not just for herself, but for Tara. And then, just as abruptly as it had started, Officer Grant's voice cut through the chaos. "All units, hold. Stand down. She's not here." Maya and Tara froze, disbelief written on their faces. Mr. Kamal exhaled, almost collapsing back into his seat. "Now go," he said softly.
Quickly. Please.
Now they know you are not her. Maya opened the door first, stepping out cautiously, Tara following close behind. The officers relaxed slightly, but kept their hands ready. Maya noticed the intensity in Officer Grant's eyes fade into curiosity. One of them muttered something about a mistaken identity and a suspect matching description. Maya glanced back at Mr. Kamal. "You saved us," she said quietly. He only nodded, a faint, exhausted smile crossing his face. "I told you 3 minutes. That was all you needed." Even as they walked toward the terminal, adrenaline still thrumming through their veins, Maya couldn't stop glancing over her shoulder. The flashing lights, the officers, the chaos, they felt like a bad dream. And yet, the tension hadn't fully lifted. Somewhere inside, Maya knew that they weren't completely safe yet. The real explanation for this madness was still waiting, just around the corner, hidden behind airport doors and surveillance cameras. And whatever it was, Maya had a feeling it was going to be far more complicated than she could have imagined. The automatic doors of the airport swished open, and Maya led Tara inside, still holding her sister's hand tightly. Their legs felt like jelly, adrenaline still pumping through every vein. Even with the chaos outside fading behind them, the weight of uncertainty pressed down on their shoulders. The bright airport lights and bustling travelers should have been comforting, but instead, they made the sisters feel exposed, like every passerby could see them for who the police thought they were. "Where do we even go?" Tara whispered, glancing nervously at the uniformed officers who had followed them to the terminal. Their presence was intimidating, but at least inside, they weren't surrounding the taxi anymore. Maya shook her head, keeping her voice low. I don't know. Just follow me. Let's not panic." A few steps later, Officer Grant approached them again, flanked by 2 others. His eyes were steady and calculating, but there was a hint of empathy this time. "Ladies, please come with us to the security office. We need to clarify something." Maya exhaled, a shaky breath escaping her lips. "Yes, sir," she said. Tara nodded silently beside her. Inside the security office, the fluorescent lights were harsh, making every line and shadow on the sisters' faces more pronounced. Officers led them to 2 chairs in front of a large monitor. Chief Daniels, the airport security chief, stood nearby, clipboard in hand, observing everything with an unreadable expression. Officer Grant motioned for them to sit. "I want to be clear, we're not accusing you personally. There's a woman, matching your description, who is wanted for questioning. CCTV shows her involved in an incident at another location before she arrived here." Maya's eyebrows knit together in confusion. "Wait, what? Someone who looks like me?" "Yes," Officer Grant replied. "Your description matches her almost perfectly. Height, build, hair, even facial features. Security footage confirms she boarded a different flight, but the report we received suggested she would be arriving here today." Tara's jaw dropped. "So they thought we were her? They almost shot us because of some random woman?" Maya clenched her fists, trying to keep herself calm. "That's insane." Mr. Kamal, who had insisted on following them to ensure their safety, spoke up quietly. "I told you. I knew. I saw them. I knew they would mistake you. That's why I asked you to wait. 3 minutes, that was all it took." Officer Grant raised an eyebrow. "You mean to say you knew a potential misunderstanding would happen?" Mr. Kamal nodded. "Yes. The woman, she has done this before. She travels, leaves chaos behind. Airport police sometimes react too quickly when reports match her appearance." Chief Daniels stepped forward. His presence demanded attention. "We have the CCTV images of the suspect," he said, turning the monitor toward Maya and Tara. Maya leaned in, her heart pounding. There, on the screen, was a woman, tall, slender, dark-skinned, hair in long braids tied back in a style almost identical to Maya's. Her face mirrored Maya's so closely it was uncanny. But the way she moved, the urgency in her gestures, the items she carried, it all screamed, dangerous situation. "That's not me," Maya whispered. Tara grabbed her arm. "Yeah, it's not you. Look at her face. It's just like you." Officer Grant nodded solemnly. Mistaken identity happens more often than people think, especially when someone has an exact resemblance to a suspect. That's why the reaction outside was so intense. Maya let out a shaky laugh, partly from relief, partly from disbelief. So we were basically being treated like criminals for something we didn't do because someone just looked like me? Yes, Chief Daniels said calmly. And thanks to your driver's quick thinking, no one was harmed. He followed protocol, ensured you stayed inside the vehicle, and prevented a potential tragedy. Maya's gaze shot to Mr. Kamal. You saved our lives. Her voice trembled, gratitude mixing with lingering fear. Tara, still wide-eyed, added, seriously. I was ready to scream or cry or both. Officer Grant gave a small, rare smile. You stayed calm. That helped too. Panic can make a dangerous situation worse. You too did good by following instructions, even if they weren't yours. Maya nodded slowly, her mind still spinning. I don't even know what to say except thank you, and sorry for all the trouble. Chief Daniels, unusually warm for someone in his position, said, no need for apologies. Mistaken identity situations are tense, but everyone handled it well. Just be careful in the future. Sometimes life throws chaos at the wrong people, and all you can do is stay calm and trust those who know more than you do. Maya exchanged a glance with Tara. Relief mingled with the residual fear, leaving them a little drained but undeniably grateful. In the back of her mind, she knew the day wasn't over yet. There were still questions to answer, and perhaps more surprises ahead. But for now, the sisters sat, watching the screen, seeing the woman who looked like Maya moving through the airport, realizing just how close they had come to danger, and how one observant taxi driver had changed everything. Maya exhaled deeply. 3 minutes, she murmured, thinking back to Mr. Kamal's warning. 3 minutes, and he saved us. Tara leaned her head on Maya's shoulder. I'm never doubting you or him again. The tension had lifted slightly, but Maya couldn't shake the thought that this was only the beginning of an even bigger story waiting to unfold. Maya and Tara were escorted to a quieter part of the airport by Officer Grant and Chief Daniels. The chaos outside had faded, but the adrenaline still thrummed in their veins, leaving a residual tension that neither sister could shake. As they settled into chairs, Maya's mind raced. She still couldn't believe how close they had come to disaster. The thought that a simple resemblance could have put their lives at risk was almost unbearable. Chief Daniels cleared his throat. Ladies, we need to go through this carefully. The woman you were mistaken for, Lena Morales, has a history of using multiple identities. She's been under investigation for months, and she tends to travel frequently to avoid law enforcement. Today, the report we received indicated she would arrive at this airport around the same time you did. Maya swallowed hard. So, she planned this? Or she's just traveling? Officer Grant shook his head. We're not certain of her intentions yet. But the report suggested she might be carrying contraband items. Combined with her exact physical resemblance to you, it triggered the immediate police response. Tara's jaw dropped. So, we were basically in the wrong place at the wrong time because someone out there looks exactly like you? Maya nodded slowly, and almost paid the price for it. She glanced at Mr. Kamal, who had stayed close, standing by the edge of the room, a quiet, steady presence. We wouldn't be here without him. Mr. Kamal's eyes softened. I only did what I could. I've seen situations like this before. Sometimes a few minutes can make all the difference between safety and disaster. Officer Grant leaned forward. We've reviewed the CCTV footage extensively. You can see clearly that you and Lena Morales are two different people. That confirmation is why we're able to release you now. But understand this, we cannot underestimate the risk when reports match your description exactly. Maya exhaled, relief washing over her like a tidal wave. The tension in her shoulders melted slightly, though her heart still raced. Thank you, all of you. Really. I don't know how to even begin to explain how terrified we were. Tara, still clutching her sister's arm, finally let out a nervous laugh. Yeah, terrified is one word. I was ready to start screaming and crying at the same time. Honestly, I thought we were done for. Chief Daniels allowed himself a rare, small smile. It happens more than you think. Mistaken identities can escalate situations quickly. Today, though, we saw how calm you remained. That helped prevent what could have been a much worse scenario. Maya nodded, taking a deep breath. She looked at Tara. We have to remember this. Never underestimate instinct, and never ignore someone who knows more than you in a moment like that. Tara rolled her eyes with a smile.
Yeah.
I'll remember. Mr. Kamal saved us. You stayed calm.
Got it.
Maya chuckled softly. I couldn't have done it without you either. You kept me grounded. Mr. Kamal gave a slight bow of acknowledgement. Just promise me, next time, you won't doubt a driver's instincts, even if they seem strange. Maya smiled, gratitude overflowing. I promise. The sisters finally allowed themselves to relax. Officer Grant and Chief Daniels escorted them to the gate, making sure there were no further issues. Maya felt a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration, the kind that comes after surviving something entirely out of your control. She glanced at Tara, who was still wide-eyed but finally starting to relax. As they reached the departure area, Maya took one last look back at Mr. Kamal. He waved subtly, his expression calm but carrying the weight of what had just occurred. Maya realized she would never forget this man, or the way a few minutes of caution had saved their lives. Sitting at the gate, Maya reflected on the chaos of the day. Life had a way of testing people in unexpected ways, she thought. A moment of danger, a stranger's wisdom, and an innocent resemblance could all collide in ways that felt impossible. And yet, she and Tara had come through it stronger, closer, and more aware of how quickly circumstances could shift. As the plane's engines roared to life in the distance, Maya felt a quiet sense of closure. Lena Morales remained out there, unknown and dangerous, but the sisters were safe. And that thought alone allowed Maya to breathe deeply, feeling a renewed sense of gratitude for life, and for Mr. Kamal, who had seen the danger before anyone else. Tara nudged her. So, next trip, we're flying private, right? Maya laughed, the tension finally breaking. Next trip, we're staying on the ground until we know it's safe. The two sisters leaned back in their chairs, watching the planes take off, their hands intertwined. Maya's mind lingered on the day's events, a reminder that danger could strike anywhere, but so could courage, wisdom, and timing. And for the first time that day, she felt truly safe, truly grateful, and truly alive. Thank you so much, lovelies, for listening. And lastly, don't just leave without subscribing. It means a whole lot to me, and also like this story and comment. Bye, lovelies.